English teacher, part 82. Vary the form of your reinforcement. An endless stream of the okays and rights soon becomes meaningless. Building on a student's response immediately or later provides strong reinforcement. Give praise judiciously when effort or an achievement merit it, but do not allow your praise to become repetitious or meaningless. If you find that an initial question is too difficult, or if you wish to encourage a student to extend or clarify the response, you might use prompts, clues, or probes, the series of step-by-step questions to encourage students to move just beyond the point they have reached with their initial answers. Cueing, reminding students of the information that will help them. Taking a further step in framing a response is another skill that you can use to guide pupils to the right answer without giving it to them. Acknowledge any correct element in incorrect or incomplete answer. Be sure to interpret to the student's advantage any sincere attempt to respond. Make it plain that you value such attempts so contributions to the progress of the class in solving problems, that is, in proceeding from known to the clarify unknown. If a student's response is unclear, ask him or her to rephrase it or redirect the question. Move on to the next question only when you think that the class is ready for it. Try to return later with a similar question to the student who has given a hesitant or incorrect answer. If necessary, you might use a probe to elicit clarification or high-level response, or the prompt to help the student build on the correct element. Or you might reward or redirect the question to elicit or correct complete answers. Do not insist that every responder work out to a totally complete and correct answers, as this would only turn a potential learning experience into an inquisition and embarrass students. Some students instead use answers to the earlier questions as the basis for the subsequent questioning. If a student does not respond to a question, you might encourage and prompt him or her to redirect the question to someone else. Be patient, however, in letting students complete their answers. Pause for 3 seconds after you receive a response to allow the responder or expand the remand it. By jumping into too quickly, and you might prevent some students from giving a fuller answer. Students' responses should sometimes take the form of the class or the group discussion. You can support discussion in several ways. You might, for instance, build on students' responses immediately or later to show that you consider these contributions important. If you want to keep the discussion moving about the classroom, you might invite comments from several students in succession, or redirect a question to another student to confirm a response. In a free-flowing discussion, it is usual to permit unsolicited responses. Polite dissent should be permitted on all matters of opinion. Encouraging students' questions. Classroom questioning should not be a one-way street. Encourage your students to direct questions to you and to their peers, and answers as promptly as you can without interrupting the flow of your lessons. Encourage students to ask constructive and higher level questions that motivate them and encourage them to take more responsibility for their own learning. But make it plain that the questions of almost any sort can be of use. Explain to your class that all the questions should be treated respectfully, because they can open up new trains of thought that may lead to the investigation and solution. Increase student-initiated questions by providing wait time before after students respond, by creating a positive climate partly through the use of the positive reinforcement, and by simply asking students to put more questions and complimenting them when they do it. When a student asks a question that indicates that he or she has been paying attention, it is generally unnecessary to take any action other than to answer briefly or pleasantly. The other students will usually send sufficient signals to inform the questioner that the answer has already been given. If such an incident often involves a particular student's they might indicate hearing difficulty.